Welcome back to Primetime News and a special welcome to folks on OneSpotMedia.com. First up this evening, the Mayor of Falmouth is speaking out on the controversial demolition of houses and properties on privately owned lands in Cooper's Pen in Trelawney. Collen Gager is insisting neither the government nor the local authorities had anything to do with the demolition and are working to resolve the matter in a way that benefits all parties. Krista Campbell has this Primetime News update.
The demolition of houses and personal properties in Cooper's Pen, Trelawney happened on Tuesday and days later still has persons divided. On the one hand, residents who had been informally occupying the lands for years. On the other, the private owners who, through the courts, were given the green light to seize control of the space. How they chose to do that, with bulldozers and police in the early morning hours on Tuesday, has pushed the government and local authorities smack in the middle of the dispute, with some persons insisting they had to have known of the demolition plan. Falmouth Mayor Collen Gager has responded.
The Trelawney Municipal Corporation and the government have nothing to do with a private developer. This is private land. And if the land is something that is in court, there is nothing that we or any government have to do. In fact, way back, other councillors and member of parliament was involved in the ongoing discussion before the court ruled.
Mr. Gager says he sympathizes with the residents being left out in the cold in such a manner and explains that elected representatives are trying to smooth things over in a way that satisfies all concerned.
What we are trying to do now is to get all the stakeholders together, hoping that they can come together for a meeting, the property owners, and let us hear their side, hear where they want to go. Then we want to get people like Ministry of Housing and invite various ministers and see where we can take it to.
He pointed to the availability of many government lands that could be an alternative solution for the displaced residents. But more than that, he stressed that the build-out of informal settlements, more commonly termed as squatting, is a worsening parish-wide issue.
Look at Hague. In Hague, we have a problem with even the place where the Hague sewage system should be built. That's taken over by persons building houses on it. If you go down by Scarlet Hall, there are two big pieces of land that is under contention right now because persons have gone on these lands to really build and set up houses.
He's also appealing to residents not to buy lands being sold way below market value.
Because when you see a person say selling out the land cheap, just letting out and giving you the promise that government will take over, it is not so at all times. And some of these lands, they are for other projects that they might want to do. Because right now, part of Scarlet Hall is for a project that an approved plan is at the council.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Thanks, Krista. A police officer narrowly escaped serious injuries after he was shot at while driving along the Spur Tree Main Road in Manchester. As you will hear in this report, he was shot at by another police officer. Jamila Maitland has details.
The Manchester police are tight-lipped about the circumstances that led to one police corporal needing treatment at the hospital and another taken into custody following a dramatic shooting along a section of the Spur Tree Main Road Saturday morning. The incident occurred about 12:15 a.m. It's reported that the corporal was driving his Toyota Axia motor car when another vehicle drove up beside him. The driver reportedly fired several shots into the policeman's car, which damaged his vehicle and grazed his forehead. The policeman drove himself to the hospital where he was treated. However, a police source told TVJ News that the shooting stemmed from an alleged road rage incident. During a verbal altercation, a firearm was drawn. It led to the other motorist drawing his firearm and the shooting started. The motorist is also a police corporal. The officers are attached to 2 different police stations and, according to our source, are not known to each other. The Independent Commission of Investigation, INDECOM, is probing the incident. Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
Thanks, Jamila. To a case now that has left some residents shocked and a Clarendon woman facing 2 charges and 1 man heartbroken after realizing he lost a lot of money and will also not become a father. Details in this report. 46-year-old Marcianette Thomas from New Boynes in Clarendon has been charged with larceny by trick or fraud and creating public mischief. She was charged by detectives in Clarendon following an intense investigation into a case that dates back to December 2025. Investigators say 9 months ago, the woman reportedly told a man she was intimate with that she was pregnant with his child, following which the male began providing the woman with monies to care for herself and the unborn child. But the big plot twist came on the 9th of August when the woman was supposed to give birth in St. Andrew. The complainant said he became worried when he could not reach the woman. Further checks with the St. Andrew hospital she was to give birth revealed no such patient had been admitted to the maternity ward. 4 days later, on August 13, the woman reportedly called the man to explain she, her other son, and the baby were abducted by 4 Clarendon police officers who kept them for 3 days in an undisclosed location. She contends she and her son were subsequently released, but the baby was taken and she could not say to where. But further checks by the police revealed what was an intricate plot by the woman to trick the man out of sums of cash. Detectives say she confessed that the story was made up, meaning there were no kidnappers dressed like police officers, no kidnapping, no missing baby, and in fact, there was no baby at all. A court date is being finalized for the woman, at which time she's expected to answer the charges. To other news now, an app to make it easier to report domestic violence is one step closer to becoming a reality. Gender Minister Olivia Babsey-Grange inked the deal on Friday with Amber Innovations Limited to create the $80 million Jamaican JamSafe app that's being done free of cost to the government. Minister Grange says it was a campaign promise aimed at strengthening the current systems of reporting and addressing intimate partner violence, to which often turn fatal.
Survivors of gender-based violence often experience delays in accessing help, confusion about service pathways, fragmented response mechanisms, and limited discrete reporting options. The platform is being designed to provide access to emergency assistance, gender-based violence support, information and referral services, while strengthening coordination among the agencies and professionals responsible for responding to these cases.
The minister says a key part of the app will allow 24/7 reporting through a helpline that will provide emergency support like counseling.
And to improve support for survivors through inclusive design that functions without mobile data or credit. And finally, to strengthen response coordination through intelligent routing, triage, and follow-up mechanisms.
To some tragic news from the Garden Parish, the Discovery Bay Police in St. Anne are investigating the circumstances surrounding the suspected drowning of a 4-year-old boy at the popular Portosica Beach on Thursday afternoon. Reports are that the boy, who is from Portmore St. Catherine, was at the beach with his parents and other family members. About 2:40, a lifeguard on duty saw the boy wandering at a section of the beach and brought him to his parents. The boy reportedly disappeared again, and his relatives and a team from the Jamaica Defense Force JDF launched a search for the boy. The child was spotted motionless in a swimming pool for adults at another section of the property. He was pulled from the water and CPR administered. He was taken to the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital but was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. 2 people are dead and 3 persons injured following a motor vehicle crash along the Spanish Town leg of the PJ Patterson Highway in St. Catherine. The crash happened about 11:10 this morning. TVJ News understands that a 2013 white Mitsubishi Lancer motorcar with 5 occupants reached close to the Bernard Lodge Bridge when the driver lost control of the vehicle and ran off the road. The driver succumbed to his injuries and died on the scene. A second person died while being treated at hospital. And we take another break, but please stay with us because there's more local stories when we return.